Good morning everyone, how are you doing? This is Amanda, I do hope that you're well. So today is the 6th of August as I sit down to record this video. It's actually the main Lionsgate 8.8 activation video that I'm doing this year, although I did also do quite an important preparatory one about a week ago that many of you will have seen. And what I said in that is very much tied into what we're also going to be now following through as a thread. You can watch the videos at any time, even though, yes, the peak of the Lionsgate energy, and I'll explain what that is in a moment, is on the 8th, 8/8, every year. The actual window is from July the 26th until August the 12th. So, but you know, you can watch these videos at any time that you feel as though you need them. Once the energy has been released through the portal, it is accessible anytime, any year. And indeed, you can look back at previous Lionsgate videos that I've done and they will still be as relevant, and there will still be seeds of activation that you can pick up and run with right now. Okay, so this year, this video is going to cover quite a lot. So you might want to watch it in different parts, or you might wish to take notes. You might wish to come back to certain parts at different points of time, because we're going to be looking at some fairly big energies. Of course we are, because it's Lionsgate. But in particular, we're going to be looking at the Sri Yantra symbol and discussing that and utilising that power, because I'm being given that over and over and over again at the moment. And it first came up as a card in the preparation video, if you remember, but it's still here, but it's going to be used now in a different way. I also would like to touch on the Sirius energy, because of course Lionsgate is linked to the star Sirius, and I do know that that is one of the main planetary energies that I hold within my being. I very much have always related to the Sirian energy, so we'll bring through some downloads from that. And to be honest, I don't really know what else is going to happen in this video. I just know that something is. And my nose is itching now, so that's always a sign that we're onto something. Metatron said this to me today. He gave me the analogy of an artist or a musician, a creator of any description. Wow, my nose really is going. When they start out, let's take the analogy of an artist. When they start out and they wish to paint a picture, they have no idea how it is going to basically turn out. They will just put a couple of brush strokes on and then it transforms into something. When I came to do this video today, and I woke up and I thought, I still don't have the information of what I'm supposed to be doing. It's in 2 days, I've got to do it this morning, what's going on? And that's when Metatron said, you're not supposed to know. It's supposed to be like a work of art whereby you just put one brush stroke, i.e. a couple of words, onto the tape or the film and then allow it to flow. And I think that's good guidance for all of us, because we can often block our connection to spirit and we can procrastinate and we can doubt our ability because of old programming, because of what we've gone through in life maybe, because of just what we hold within our being. But we're being reminded to throw all that out at Lionsgate and just to flow and allow spirit to speak through you, to work through you, for you to basically be an instrument of peace. And that word instrument is important because the yantras, which of course the Sri Yantra is a very important tool used in Hinduism, but yantra means instrument. Now before we get into this, because I think it's the first thing we're going to start with, let me just paraphrase very quickly for those that don't know what Lionsgate is. So literally within 1 or 2 sentences, Lionsgate is linked into a number of different planetary energies and alignments, as well as galactic, that happen between July the 26th and August the 12th every year. It's always when the sun is in Leo, and it's when the star Sirius and Orion's belt and the Earth all line up. And in particular, they line up and are in complete alignment on 8/8. It's said to be that it's an exact alignment over the pyramids of Giza, I believe that's in Egypt. So these are the energies we're working with: the sun, the Sirius star, Orion's belt, and of course dear old Mother Earth herself. We also have the Egyptian energy in the mix, and we have the numerological energy of 8/8. And if we just think about what 8 stands for, 8, I'm actually a life path number 8, so many of you may be as well, but I'm a life path number 8. And actually I've never really thought about it before, but maybe that's why I make such a big deal of 8/8 and Lionsgate every year. So I'm an 8, and 8s tend to be about leadership, tends to be about power, it can be about abundance. 8, taking it away from life path stuff, and there's more to it than that, of course, it links into infinity. But 8 in itself is an energy of manifestation. It's the power of manifestation. It's the power of abundance. It's also linked into success. So it's got many very positive qualities, very strong qualities. And so on 8/8, we're all allowed to not just dip our toe into the pool of all of that goodness, but to dive in, to get a download of it and come out refreshed so we feel stronger. And I think that particularly is why often in the run-up to 8/8, we can have lots of wobbles, and we can also have lots of things that, if you've watched my preparation video, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I talked about it literally being like an obstacle course to even get here. And my voice just went there because it really has been like that this week. I laughed as I said it was going to be a bit like crawling underneath one of those nets in an obstacle course and making it through. And my God, you know, actually it has been a bit like that. Relentless energy coming in to try and deter, detract, lower the energy. And it's literally like being the soldier, which is what we basically are, with the armor, just deflect, you know, back at you, all of this type of stuff the whole time. We're still here, we're still standing. And what I would like to say to all of us is, well done, before we go any further. Well done, because they weren't able to stop us getting to this point. And now we're at this point. What Metatron is saying is that this is a place whereby it's quite interesting. I'm being shown the corridor that we've all just gone through in the run up to this 8/8, being a bit like the battleground. Some of you might have had an easier ride than others, but a lot of us have had difficulties. More about energies, you know, just pesky energies that have been trying to lower us. But now we've made it through that corridor. The corridor's here, the gate is here, but we're in this period here now. And it's like this bit here is completely protected and shielded. It's almost as though it's a bit Star Trek-like. It's as though we've made it through the tunnel. And you know, in those old films like Star Trek or Star Wars, I think it's Star Wars I'm thinking of, and they had those doors, they were like metal doors, and the doors just sort of closed like that in a geometric pattern. And then whoever was trying to advance beyond a certain point was thwarted because the good guys had got into the section of the tunnel that was protected and safe. And now it's just like, oh, right, okay, we can relax a bit. You know, this is going to be a lot easier now. It's not going to be difficult to walk through this gateway at all. So I like that. I really like that. I don't know why it has to be so hard sometimes, but just, I don't know. Anyway, we're in a good space now. And yeah, this geometric pattern is interesting because the doors that I'm seeing linked into sci-fi that close, I'm sure it is Star Wars. I'm now looking down at the Sri Yantra Pattern, and I've got various depictions of it from various decks here. There's another one. I'll put the links to all of the decks below, but you know, you get the idea. Look a bit like this. So let's have a close look at it. I think this is probably the one that's going to show up best on the camera. This is from the Sacred Geometry deck by Francine Hart. So this is the Sri Yantra symbol, and it's quite interesting because in this particular deck, there's two versions of it. There is this symbol itself, and there is something called the expanded Sri Yantra, which apparently is used in Tantra. So let's just take them one at a time. Let's start with this one, which you might be more familiar with. Or if you're not familiar with, it may very well be, as you look at that, you might remember that you've seen it before. Or even if you haven't seen it before, I'd just like you to look at it, because there will be a stirring within your soul that you do actually recognise this pattern. Because the seeds of sacred geometry lie within every part of who we are. They're within our blueprint, because they are within the blueprint of Mother Earth herself, of which we are part. So these actually exist, these symbols exist within the cellular patterning of our body. So I'm just going to read you a couple of lines which explains what this is. Now, we could spend 2 hours talking about this symbol itself, which we're not going to. It may well be something we come back to in another video, but for the purposes of Lionsgate, this is the particular information that's important. Basically, this symbol focuses around, and I'm reading Francine Hart's words here, 9 interlocking triangles which form a powerful symbol for meditation. So it's a meditation tool, it's a meditation instrument. And the proportions of the largest triangle within it are the same as each face on the Great Pyramid at Giza in Egypt. So we know that this Lionsgate energy is linked into or has an exact alignment to the pizzas. God, keep my mouth in. That's quite funny, really. The pyramids, maybe it does pizza as well. The pyramids at Giza. Let's get serious. So we also have within this symbol little petals, which are meant to be the lotus petals, surrounding the square, which has 4 doors, petals. The 4 doors represent boundaries within which consciousness resides. Drawing this card suggests you may find yourself needing protection or a break from the chaos and the overstimulation of the outside world. So you're asked or offered to use this symbol as a tool for inner reflection. It's got more and more crazy in the outer world. And so we have the opportunity and the desire, the increasing desire to go in. And this is a great symbol with which to help you do that and to help you think about protection, doorways of consciousness, etc. Now, what's interesting is that the next card in the deck, number 12, as I say, is the expanded Sri Yantra. And as you'll see here, it's lost its box, for want of a better word. It's lost its boundaries. It's free. It's about freedom. So let me just read you again now what goes with this one. And again, I want you just to take in the transmission from this particular card, because this is actually what's happening as I'm showing you the card itself. This is actually like a code that is going into your subconscious as you actually look at this particular picture, this symbol, and you hear the words that are associated with it. So receive the transmission and receive the code. So this is the Tantric Sri Yantra, but it moves beyond the boundaries created by the first ancient symbol. Moving like a spacecraft over open waters, the symbol becomes one of freedom and liberation. Are you in need of a little adventure? Have the walls of your existence become too confining? You may feel constrained by your job, your responsibilities, or a relationship that no longer works. Open your arms and embrace the light of your inner being. Know that you always have choices, and that the choice you may be needing most is the freedom to be who you are, not someone that the world expects you to be. Laugh out loud and kick up your heels. Feel a breeze caressing your face and realize that the winds of change will, by your choice, bring you to a place of greater joy and freedom. So it feels as though there are tools within these two codes that we're being given for Lionsgate. The first, which is the traditional ancient symbol itself, with the 4 doorways and the petals, the lotus petals, implying that we have to open up our mind, open up our inner consciousness, open up the portal of our own heart, open up to our own inner voice. It's about going inward so we can hear what is it that we truly want. How do I actually truly feel? And then after that, we have the opportunity to break free, literally to break free, to be liberated from that which confines us. But we only know what confines us by going within. I don't know about you, but again, the run up to this Lion's Gate has felt, I've had a couple of moments quite recently, I mean, I'm talking within the last 48 hours, where it's like a dawning sense of realization of exactly where I'm at, the vibration that I am vibrating at, the frequency that I'm holding, and being very aware, and this isn't ego, but being very aware that others are not at that vibration. That doesn't mean that they're worse than me, and it doesn't mean that I'm better than them. It just means that there's a difference in vibration. Now, many of us are seeing this, of course, because the difference between the 3D reality and the 4th reality and 5th dimensional frequency and higher is becoming very noticeable. I would actually like to say something about 4D, 4th dimensional frequency, because we hear a lot about what 3D is. We hear a lot about what 5D is. 5D basically is really, living from the heart and exemplifying that and doing it. 4D seems to be where we've woken up, we realise that the old way of doing things is not working anymore. We don't wish to partake in that way of being. We're awake to our own behaviours, triggers, wounding, as much as the world's wounding and triggers, as well as all the beautiful gifts and downloads that come in. But it often isn't a place where I don't feel we walk the talk all of the time. And I think 5D is when we start to really walk the talk. And I think the difference I'm noticing is more in between 4D and 5D. Because, to be perfectly frank, I don't surround myself with a lot of people who are completely and utterly stuck and ignorant. Let me take that back, cancel, clear, delete. Let's just say, well, okay, I just said it again. So no, I'm being told to say it again, ignorant, okay. Ignorance is bliss is what I'm hearing. Some people wish to stay in 3D because ignorance is bliss. And so we must not judge that, but equally we don't necessarily have to surround ourselves by choice with people like that. There are people we may have in our life that we have no choice to be around because, I don't know, they're family or key karmic relationships or something like that. But I'm talking about the people you do have a choice with. But certainly in my life, I'm not around too many really stuck, unawakened people anymore. But I'm around a lot of people who are in 4D, who are sort of waking up or have woken up to a degree, but haven't really mastered putting it into practice. We can all be a bit like that, of course, but I'm really seeing the shining light of 5th dimensional frequency, which is when you really do it. As much as you can, you walk it all the time. And I've just been really shown the difference between those that do, those that can, and those that can't, particularly in the last week. So again, that's all good. And again, I'm being shown the Lionsgate corridor, because what I'm being shown once again is it's not that anybody is blocked from these portals, but as I said last time, a lot of people don't even know that they're there. But they're not going to be allowed to interfere with us in this safe portion of the portal corridor. So the 3D noise and the 3D chatter and the 3D nonsense, quite frankly, which happens a lot of the time, and I'm talking about collective stuff, you need to just allow that to recede. And the tool that helps you do that is particularly something such as this. It's not the only tool, but it's one of the key tools I've been given for this video, to focus and meditate on this symbol, because it helps you to go within. And when you go within, within all of us is the seeds of fifth dimensional frequency and a lot higher, okay? Because the heart frequency isn't usually stuck. I mean, there can be parts of it that are stuck, which is why we see people who are totally cold-hearted. But even in those people, there are other chambers within their heart that hold the 5D pockets and the seeds and the frequencies. They just haven't opened the doors yet. But people like you and me, people that are watching this video that even know what Lionsgate is, your heart will have huge, great, big, beautiful healing pools, I'm hearing, of fifth dimensional frequency. So when you go into it, it's just a beautiful place to be, and it helps you to just quieten out all that other chatter, okay? So more and more we're going to be asked, as we always have been in every lifetime, to keep going back to our heart, to keep going back to our heart, to keep going back to our heart. The crazier and crazier and crazier the world gets, the more we're going to be asked to go back into our heart, because that's where we're fed the fifth dimensional food that we need to sustain us, to nourish us, to strengthen us, and to give us the will to carry on. And this Sri Yantra tool feels as though it is something that can really help us with that as well, to remind us to go back within. So, you know, as I've said before, with any symbol, you know, you can go onto Google, you can just Google Sri Yantra, and you can print it out, and you can, like Dr. Emoto would have told us, you know, you can put your piece of paper, you know, put your mug over the top of that with water, and the water will start to hold the frequency of that symbol. We know this stuff. You could wear it on a piece of jewellery, you could have it on a piece of artwork, you could have it on an oracle card and have that in front of your face every day, so you're absorbing it, you're being reminded to do it. But you know, these are all simple ways to just incorporate that symbol's practice into your life. And I'm sure there is breathing techniques that you can do to, you know, as you're looking at it, you're breathing it in. Okay, so you're literally, let's do it together. So if I put that up, in fact, let's just feel the difference between breathing in the two symbols. Okay, so firstly, I'd like you to look at this one. And I'd like you just to close, well, no, you don't close your eyes. Keep your eyes open, unless you're telepathic. Some of you will be. Some of you will be able to close your eyes, but actually for most people, you need to keep your eyes open. Look at it, focus on it, breathe it in. Literally, you're breathing in like you're breathing a colour. Like you would breathe in the colour of that beautiful flower behind me. That for some reason feels easier. I can breathe in the colour of that beautiful yellow. I can imagine that the gladioli and I are becoming one. That I'm breathing in the scent. That I'm breathing in the colour. That I'm breathing in the softness. The gladioli as a flower was absolutely wanting to be in this video today, and I believe it's to do with honesty and remembrance. Let me just have a quick look whilst we're talking about it. Gladioli, spiritual meaning. It's to do with honour and remembrance, strength of character, faithfulness, sincerity, integrity. Let me just put it up to the camera because it feels like this might be a bit easier to start with. Okay, so I'm actually wearing, I hadn't realised I've got the colours on. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah. And yeah, absolutely. A bit of a nod to Dame Edna, because we also need to keep it light and have a laugh. As soon as you get really serious, you can actually lower your vibration, because joy is the highest vibration, remember, okay? So to breathe it in a light-hearted, joyful way, rather than in a way which is like, oh my God, am I getting this right? Am I doing it wrong? You'll immediately block yourself, because you're in your mind, you're not in your heart. Your heart holds the frequency of fifth dimensional frequency, which also is the vibration of joyful childhood. Remember what Jesus said about children, it being easy to be like children to enter the kingdom of heaven. That's what we have to become like. So, you know, yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, just look at this beautiful flower, though. How absolutely stunning are the colours of that. Okay, literally like golden trumpets. And they are so proud to be what they are. You know, the gladioli is just proud to be what it is. So there's something there about this is a gift for you as well. It's reminding you to be like this, to shout from the rooftops who you are, to be joyous about life, to ingest all of the goodness of the beauty of this beautiful flower. So just breathe her in. It feels like it's a her. Breathe her in, okay? And imagine that gladioli now sitting within your heart center, and feel how fluttery and how happy that feels. Okay, so let's put her back in water. And now let's do the same with the symbol. But you please remember, we have to be in the same light-hearted mode with this. Okay, we're going into our heart. Our heart is welcoming in the symbol of this. We're breathing it in. We're becoming it. It sits within our heart. It feels good. We remember it. Okay. And then you can also do the same with the expanded Sri Yantra, which feels completely different. So now try to breathe that one in. Focus on that one. How does that feel? How expansive does that feel? And it feels really expansive. And it takes us out of ourself. The heart becomes the launch pad. Literally, it's as though we are the rocket. The heart is the launch pad. And it reminds us of the extraordinary size and majesty of our own soul essence, which is contained within the body that we have, and it looks a certain way, but it is simply contained. It's so much more than that. And this Lion's Gate, we're given an opportunity to remember that. We'll do a little, just come back for a moment, because I just want to say a few more things before we go straight into a deeper affirmation and meditation. Okay. Yes, I want to do that at the end, wrapping it all up. So we're going to do a bit of that. Let's now just acknowledge the Sirius energy. Okay, so I'm going to, I think, start with pulling some cards from the Starseed Oracle by Rebecca Campbell for this. And then we will also just see what wants to flow. So let's get to the cards. Let's call in the Sirian energy. I'm going to do that with the Commander Ashtar Galactic Light Spray. Interesting, it's not called the Galactic Light Spray, it's called the Galactic Federation Spray, but I'm hearing Galactic Light because that is the download that we are receiving this Lion's Gate. Okay. Sirian energy, galactic energy. Okay, let's see what messages we've got. I'm hearing 4 cards. So please let us have the 4 messages for the people watching. What are the downloads? What are the messages? What are the codes from our Sirian brothers and sisters at this time? Yeah, Yeah. Okay, so the first one is saying you're not for everyone. Embrace your weirdness and face your true north. I think this is very much a nod to the fact that the higher and higher we climb, the less people actually are going to understand us. I had somebody only yesterday, this was just a comment that came in on social media, they don't actually know me as a person at all, but they actually said, I don't know who you are anymore, Amanda, and it was meant as an insult, but I took it as a great compliment. Because, yeah, the higher and higher you get, the more weird it's going to get. What did John Lennon say? Something about the more real you get, the more real you get, the more unreal the world seems. It's fine to be a little bit out there. We're meant to be a little bit out there. That's why we came, to be the way showers. Okay, so you're not for everyone, no, but, you know, look at who is summoning the powers of the universe. Look at who is able to embrace the great vastness of all that is. And it's not the people who want to keep themselves shut into the little box. It's people like you and me who embrace these portals and say, okay, I don't even know where this is going to lead. I don't even know what the results are going to be, but I'm going to sign up for it because I want to embrace more. I want to be more. Okay, so you're not for everyone. Embrace your weirdness. Face your true north. Face the power of the universe is really what I'm hearing. We've also got star bathing. This is actually really important. It's a bit like, sorry, I've got distracted by my phone. Let me switch that off. I'm going to have to switch it off because my daughter is trying to text and I know what it's about. It's not urgent. She thinks it is. You see, this is the thing. We're distracted by so much. Star bathing is about, it's a beautiful sunny day. I need to bathe in that, literally, even if it's for 5 minutes, to consciously sit underneath sunlight, or to consciously sit underneath moonlight, to consciously sit underneath starlight, to consciously sit underneath rain or cloud or whatever the conditions are that you are facing in your part of the world, because the elements are part of you and part of the downloads are coming via the elements, even when they are feeling as though they are hostile to us. There are still downloads that can come. Fire, after all, is a great transmuter of energy, for example. Water is a great purifier. So this is basically just instructing us to take time over Lion's Gate to receive the codes. And you can't receive that from any video. You can't receive that from any book. You can't receive it from any other way other than to get outside into nature and to receive the elements and the air and the sun and the moon and the starlight, okay? So it's really important we do that. Also, as we do that, Mother Earth is also receiving the downloads too, okay? And again, switch off the rational mind which wants to know what am I receiving and what does it mean. Your body will be able to integrate it because it will understand it. Your mind can just butt out because it doesn't actually need to know. Again, the heart will know, the soul will know, etc. And it's coming from our galactic, I wanted to say brothers and sisters, from the Sirian star force, star fleet, star system, the whole caboodle. Right, let's have 2 more cards, please. So Sirian energy over this Lion's Gate. What other message is there, please? I'm seeing a blue umbilical cord that is linked to those of us that have a strong Sirian energy. I'm being told actually everybody on the planet has one, even if you identify more as a Palladian or an Andromedan or any of the other galactic species, for want of a better word, that are known. We all are part of everything, especially when you get up to galactic level, you truly know that. So even if you haven't strongly resonated with the Sirian energy, you are being reminded of this blue umbilical cord that links you up to it, because the colours of the Sirian system are very much linked into blue and silver in particular. So I'm being shown the blue umbilical cord. And it's so funny because then the card that's being pulled is the card of baby steps. So it's like we are dropped in as we incarnate, like the baby we all were, into this place, this crazy place. We walk through the gateway, which is Mother Earth, and you're being reminded that you don't do it alone. You don't do it alone. That is a very powerful card though, isn't it, for the Lion's Gateway itself. You know, that really is, we've got the edge of a cliff. It's literally like it's going into nothingness, but actually it's going into everythingness. Is there such a word? It's going into everything. It's going into the allness. It's the most extraordinarily beautiful portal to walk through. And there's also an energy of the divine feminine. I don't know if you can see it, but there's 3 women walking up the path, well spaced between each other, giving each other space. So it's almost like 3 contractions. This is Mother Earth. There's 3 contractions for Mother Earth, which is like pushing the divine feminine energy closer and closer and closer to us. But equally, it's actually literally coming closer and closer to us as an individual as well. So it feels as though one of the gifts we can receive this Lion's Gate is linked into a divine feminine energy upgrade, as well as a galactic upgrade, as well as a solar upgrade. All right, let's have the 4th card. Sirian energy. Messenger. Oh, yeah, okay. We've got the Sirius card from the deck. Okay. It says Messenger, Sirius energy, bringing harmony and balance. I'm being told once again to show you the card itself, and then I need to read the message that goes with this particular card. Let me just find it in the book, and then I'll put it back up so you can look at it whilst I'm talking to you. Find it straight away, which is a miracle for me. It says your part. It's exactly what I've just said. It's reminding you that you are part of the lineage of souls who have dedicated their lifetimes to the upliftment of this planet, to returning time and again to seed the light. The crystalline ones, the ones who are here to plant the sacredness of life back in, to honour both the sacred and the sacred feminine and the sacred masculine. To usher deep reverence back in. Seems to be linking into a balancing of the masculine and feminine with this card. And again, if we go back to the Sri Yantra, I know it's known as it has an energy of the Divine Mother within it, but I think I'm right in saying that in Hindu tradition, there is also thinking that the upward triangles link into the masculine energy and the downward ones to the feminine. I think it might be linked into Lord Shiva and his other half, who for the life of me, I can't quite remember who that is right now, but apologies. I'm sure any Hindu follower can fill me in on that. So yeah, so quite interesting energies there coming through from those cards. Before we go into a meditation, I want to just also, you know, note the energy of the lion for obvious reasons. Last Lion's Gate, we celebrated and honoured 2 lions that had just passed away. Clarissa and Hubert, I think they were called from memory. And I believe there's another big lion that has just passed over who was quite well known. I'm sorry, I can't remember his name and I've just switched my phone off. So, but again, in spirit, we sort of know who he is. So check it out for yourself. There always seems to be the energy of the lion really in our face. You know, it's really in our face. I mean, on a much more, I was going to say shallow note, but who's to say what's shallow and what's deep? The pop group Tight Fit, those of us who are old enough might very well remember the song The Lion Sleeps Tonight. Well, apparently I was just watching somebody the other day and they just randomly said, and you do know Tight Fit are out with a new version of The Lion Sleeps Tonight. And I thought, yeah, of course they are, because it's Lionsgate, and people who aren't even awake, you know, this is what's so interesting. People who aren't even awake and don't understand the significance of all of this, at another level, they are getting it. They just get it, even if it's just via the song, or even if it's via just seeing a picture in a newspaper of a beautiful lion that's just passed. And they'll look at it and they'll think, oh, that's sad, or oh, I remember that song. And it might seem as though it doesn't go any deeper than that, but it really does. It's like a little key that helps to get this energy in, which is much bigger, which is linked into the Sirian energy, the solar energy, all the things we're talking about here. But yeah, the lion. Just a little shout out to this beautiful picture here. This was done by a lady called Mary. Her Facebook page is Art by Mary 7, and it's very lovely. I know she sells prints of them, and equally she is a big Prince fan. She does pictures of Prince, and I have to say that also because Prince is going to be one of the next Heart Squad that I do channel when I get back to all of my channeling. And I have to say that this Lionsgate, there is just so much evidence of Heart Squad around. Sitting down this morning, I felt the energy of Freddie Mercury. I felt the energy of David Bowie, who's on my wall. Prince. There was one other who I can't quite remember who it was now, but you know, they all seem to be around. So they're all celebrating this portal. But yeah, the energy of the lion. Let's just go into the energy of the lion for one moment. I'm being shown the leader of the lion pack, and just the alertness and awareness and profound sense of knowing everything that is seen and unseen, able to hear every tiny little movement, knowing where everything should be, knowing when something isn't quite right, fine-tuned senses, knowing when to rest and when it's okay to rest, and knowing when you have to be on your guard, knowing when you have to do, and knowing when it's okay just to... But it's a bit like, you know, my Bella, I know she's not a lion, but it's the same sort of energy that I'm getting here, which is that an animal can appear to be asleep, but with a dog it's quite funny. You've only got to open a packet of cheese and suddenly they're wide awake and they're at the fridge with you. So that's the energy I'm getting from this lion. There's a gift that the lion's energy wants to bring us, this Lionsgate, which is the gift of presence, but equally a fine-tuning of our senses, so that we are alert, but we're very aware of what's going on at all times. Even when it looks like we're slumbering or asleep, there's still another part of our being that is, you know, fully conscious. It's reminding you of that fact. Okay, let's now just try and go into whatever Spirit wishes to say. This might be the form of meditation and affirmation. It could just be channeling. I really don't know what's going to happen. So if you'd just like to gather yourself, feel your feet upon the earth, upon the floor, wherever you're sitting at the moment. If there are noises around you, that's fine. It's life. Life is full of noise. Life is full of smell. Life is full of taste. Life is full of light. Life is full of activity. And it's being at peace with all of the different aspects of that. finding that still centre, whilst around you there is activity, because there always will be a form of activity at a micro level. Okay, so we're just taking a nice deep breath in and out. And in and out. And we are, more than anything, we are noting the time. We're noting the date. We're noting this moment in our life. We are noticing the speed with which days are passing. And we are thankful for the portals, the places upon the calendar that we get to gather and meet as one. The portals where we can pause, we can reflect, and we can also use our energy to walk through towards the new. So this Lion's Gate, we become aware of all of the energies that have been discussed thus far. The beautiful power of our sun and its warmth, its glow, its heat, its life-giving properties, its masculine energy, its activation, its joy, its happiness, how it makes our body feel. We become aware of the Sirius star, Orion's belt, the wonders of the night sky, the silver twinkling lights of the stars, and this one particular star, the Sirius star itself. We become aware of the magnificence of the universe, the illumination and the brightness, the wonder, the mystery of all of it. We become aware of Mother Earth. We become aware of her heartbeat. We become aware of the elements. We become aware of the animals and the vegetation. We breathe in her air. We drink her water. We warm ourselves by her fire. We look at the night sky and marvel at the cosmos. We are her. And we find ourselves in front of a gate of your choosing. There isn't one Lion's Gate, there are many. You may have become aware of certain ones over the last few weeks, or you might have now one brought to mind. It may be stone, it may be grand, it may be small, it may be big. It may be from a different culture from your own. It may be a Japanese gateway, a gateway from Greece, a gateway from another time, or it might be a garden gate that lies close to where you live. It can be any gate, because every gate truly is a portal through which you choose to open and walk through it. And this Lion's Gate, whichever gateway and door that you find yourself in front of, is as it is meant to be. And it is filled with all of the energies of this day and these days and this year. This year's opportunity, this year's growth, this year's activation. And I'd like you just to knock on the door. And as you do so, some may find that it opens automatically. Some may find that somebody comes to open it for you. Others, there may be silence, and you may just need to push the door open yourself, not needing any permission or any other person to open it for you. Again, all ways are right. But the door opens, and more than anything, what you see is the energy and the feeling of light. You feel light upon your face. You feel light upon your body. You feel light all around you. And you are reminded that you are light, that that is your true nature, that you are light, that you are light, that you are not your problems, you are not your restrictions, you are not your illness, you are not your identity, you are not your work, you are not your name, you are not even your body. These may very well be physical manifestations at this time, but you are light. You have always been light. And the light that greets you is recognized by every cell of your body. And it vibrates to greet it. You take steps into the portal, into the gateway, and you walk through. You notice that your feet are bare. You are simply dressed. You bathe in the light. You enjoy the light. You allow the light to come through you, around you, within you. You are the light. You notice that everything is light. Everything the other side of the portal is light. The trees are made of light. The buildings are made of light. The waters vibrate with light and are light. Everything is light. You allow this light bath to nourish you, cleanse you, fill you, and you receive all of the downloads that you need right now. There is nothing to do. There is no entry requirement. There is no test. There is just light. There is just light. You are that light. You feel the different qualities of it. The solar light from the sun, the galactic light from Sirius, and the light that is within Mother Earth, a beautiful star upon which we are lucky to be born and walk upon. It is all light. There is only light. And you acknowledge and you notice that you are light. You see a path in front of you, and yes, it is illuminated by light. And you take steps into it, upon it, and you see where it leads you. It feels clear what your next step should be. Even if you do not yet know, you will do soon. The path is lit up. Places you could go, people to meet, work to do, times to be had, experiences to be had. It's lit up. The year ahead, the next cycle. And you know that whatever comes, you will have the resources and the ability to meet everything and everyone with a light vibration. That when they meet you, they feel that light, even if they do not understand what it is. That your light before you and within you transforms not just you, but others and this planet. It is why you came. You are a cherished light worker. A being of light comes before you on the path. Their size may vary, but the intensity of their vibration, which is love, is the same for all. And they put their hands into a cloak of light that they are wearing, and they pull out an energetic necklace. The necklace is on a platinum chain, and it is a platinum symbol of the Sri Yantra. They ask if they may place it around your neck, and with your permission, you bow your head and you allow them to put it upon you. The Sri Yantra symbol sits upon the collarbone, reaching down to the start of the energy of the heart chakra. And it is beaming platinum, diamond, and white light, gold light, galactic light. It sits upon you as an energetic adornment, symbol, helper, protector, and well-earned badge of one who came from far-off systems to help this planet at this time. It is the way we identify each other. You cannot see this necklace with your eyes, but you will feel when another has it upon their body. And it is a sign of recognition. And it is a gift of appreciation and love for all that you do and all that you are and all that you have been. It has within it also codes from Sirius, codes from the sun, codes from Mother Earth that you can turn to whenever you need them. And all you will need to do is put your hand upon the collarbone and the area of the chest that you feel the adornment, and you tune in to the guidance that you will receive. This is our promise to you, and this is our Lion's Gate gift. With a deep sense of appreciation and thanks, you bow. You look around you, and your eyes become accustomed to the light that you now see. And you see so many people that you know and those that you do not yet know. But here is tribe, here is soul family, here is all those who wish to stand up for the light and be the light and shine the light in this life. Thank you, this Lion's Gate, for all that you do, all that you are. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out, and then come back. Come back, come back. Move your feet, move your fingers, open your eyes, and witness and acknowledge the different light that is in the room, the difference that is within your persona. Okay, beautiful. Let's pull one final card, just to end this Lion's Gate transmission. Okay. Yeah, thank you. Okay. When you meditate and you go off into a place such as that, which is a dimension, okay, we've walked through a dimensional gateway. It feels so beautiful, doesn't it? And what it can do is it can make us feel homesick. This was the card that came up. It can make us feel homesick for the stars, longing for home, that it feels so nice up there. It feels so healing up there. It feels so loving up there. But then the card on the bottom of the deck is this, and it says, earthed, learning how to be human in the world, but not of it. So it's as though you're being reminded, this Lion's Gate, of your starry lineage. We've felt and remembered how beautiful that feels. We've walked through that gateway. And now you're meant to come here, back, drop down back into earth, and bring all of that beautiful light with you. And there's also a message here, and we could almost have this on a t-shirt, to be perfectly honest, which is that we need to learn to be in the world, but not of it. Because truly, we're not of it. We're not. That doesn't mean that we can't make it our home. It doesn't mean that we can't make a beautiful nest here. And it certainly doesn't mean it's a mistake that we are here. There's no mistake that we're here. We're exactly where we're meant to be. But we are literally like the starseed that just dropped in. And it's okay to go back in meditation and remember, but don't get into a place of feeling as though you're not where you're meant to be. You're exactly where you're meant to be. It's important to earth and to ground. So with that being said, let's just bring in the energy of Mother Earth and the energy of the red ray and the earth elemental. And it's interesting, as I'm saying that, my ears are starting to pop. So it's literally like coming back down. That's exactly what we're doing. We're coming back down, but down doesn't mean bad. Down just means we're landing. And then you have to learn how to be in the world, but not of it. And that is very much probably the next video, okay, how to do that. Although a lot of my work really has been centered around all of these subjects for a long time now. Okay, anything else to say? I'm just going to end with Metatron, because as weird as it sounds, I find Metatron a very grounding energy, even though it is an Archangel energy. I'm just going to pull a card from my own deck. We've got the card of connection and attunement, Archangel Metatron, the orange ray. And we have the energy of the leader. Okay, so there's a call here to attune to the Metatron energy as well, to answer the call and be the leader. Many of us are already in positions of leadership. It doesn't mean that you've got to be at the top of a business or on social media or have a platform or anything like that. It just means that you're in a position of leadership, maybe within your family. Maybe you're the one that has to look after your parents or children, or, you know, you're the person that has to clean the street, or you're the person that always, I don't know what it is, but, you know, embrace the energy of leadership, because that is the energy of 8. 8, leadership, abundance, manifestation, power. And remember also to use these beautiful the symbols that we were talking about at the start of this video as well. Okay guys, I'm going to leave it there for now. Have a great Lionsgate. I will be back soon with new material, but I'm very happy to have spent time with you over this particular portal period. Have a good one, lots of love, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye for now. Bye.